Something a bit different today. We thought it'd be a great opportunity. Obviously, the weather's been absolutely scorching for the past few months, so we thought it'd be good to get a perspective of someone in the industry, also someone who has been on the podcast before and is very knowledgeable about this sort of stuff. So we've got Mike Lawson, CEO of Property Risk Inspection, to join us. So, Mike, what are you thinking about the weather at the moment?
Well, afternoon. I obviously, you'll know, Tom, that we've been posting the updates on Morex, and you'll know that we gather data in from SML, very helpfully provided in terms of monitoring results. After 2025, you would have to say that no one could expect a double tap. I've been calling it double tap for a few months now. It's interesting. I've heard people chatting in meetings saying, "Oh, it looks like a double tap." So we must have got the terminology right. So yeah, they're so unusual. If we go back, you're looking at two successive good summers in the UK. You're going back to 1995-96. Before that, 1990-91, and before that, 75-76. So they don't come around often. So you know, kind of history's against you. I suppose what we have to say is perhaps after 2018 and 2022 and 2025, maybe the climate is finally giving us a message. There is a change from what you might expect. So we know it's a generally hotter world. We know that climate change is real. So we come at this of saying, on a historical long-term average basis, two successive summers in a row is very unusual. But perhaps we say to ourselves, and maybe this is the new normal, because it's what the models all say our climate will move to. And some of the models say 2030, some say 2040, some say 2050. But after 25, 26 seems to say, no, it's here now. So I think we have to look at it in that context, that maybe this could be the start of a new normal. I think we have to look at it in the context that if you take that group of previous surge years, 2025, 2022, 2018, 2003, then this year is absolutely online, on track in mid-July for an event year, for a surge. It is tracking absolutely where it should. Interestingly, I had a look from the 15th last year. There was a 10-day period of wetter interrupted weather, and Morex kind of stalled in the last 2 weeks of July. Morex will not stall in the last 2 weeks of this July. And that puts us right in the territory, not of 2025, but of 2022, which was a bigger year. So at the moment, I thought, Tom, you'd like an exclusive.
We always like an exclusive.
I thought Tom's going to love an exclusive. So I think today, on behalf of you and SML Group and your podcast, I think I'd have to call it. I'd have to call a surge. We'll go first. So I think this year will be a surge. I think that the question now is the depth and severity of that surge.
So what the repercussions of that, obviously back-to-back surge years, can we predict what the repercussions are going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, remember that for every claim that was notified last year, many people saw something change in their house but didn't report it. You know, they experience some sticking doors or cracking plasterwork or other something different and unusual in the fabric of the building. All those cases, given that we really won't have replenished the soil, all those cases are going to knock on the door of those people right now. So there's a whole load of cases that were nearly claims last year. But another point to make that won't get said, it won't get said in polite circles. What about all those poor people who've still got claims open from 2018, who've now suffered 2022, 2025, and now 2026, and their property's still not repaired? So we've got all the ones that were nearly, and we've got all the ones that are open and not yet mitigated from 25, 22, 18. Lord save us. So add to that an awful lot of trees last year were forced to go deeper, root deeper, because it was a reasonably dry year. There won't have been full rehydration. It won't have happened. And we are now exactly halfway through, one day over halfway through the summer, and it's already a record breaker. It's a record breaker against all the temperature records above 30 degrees at the halfway point. It's already beaten in terms of the number of days above 30 degrees, 31 degrees, 32 degrees, 33 degrees, 34 degrees. It's already beaten all of those. It's only got left the top temperature records of 39 and 40 held by 2022, and we've 6 weeks to go.
So it has been scorching.
It has been scorching. And there's another point that I think is really critical of why I'm calling it. Those surges in 25 last year and 22, 2018 were in many ways what I'd call a soft surge. They mightn't have felt like it to insurers, but it was pretty soft surge in my view. This year, the heat, I was talking with an insurance colleague, and he said he was on with his team on a Teams for the Glasgow team. And he said they were all moaning how hot it was. So another big thing for us, Tom, is this year, the geographic spread of the heat is encompassing the whole country. So that means that clays that for decades haven't been dried out, because it always rains in Scotland. You know, the north of England and Scotland, it always rains. The ducks are all rusty. You know, it just rains. So that protects those clays. Well, when you have a year, the big years when the north got the summer, the heat, 2003, 1990, 1995, 76. Well, these are the real hard ball-breaking surge years, because there's so many more places suffering subsidence. So we've got the double whammy here of 25 last year, and now it's geographically encompassing the whole country. So the implications and impacts of that for supply chains, for SML, for others, for insurers, for loss adjusters, is a lot of open claims that no one's closed, a lot of claims from last year that go now, and an awful lot of claims that could be spread far more spatially across the Midlands and the North, including Scotland. So maybe we're on the way to the perfect storm. Now, can anything stop this? Is it possible to stop this? Well, if it started raining now, and if it kept raining till September, if it rained for 6 weeks continuously, it will mitigate and stop the problem. So we're now moving from hope hope that might it be a hot summer, we're now moving to pray,
Mm.
pray the heat doesn't continue. Because if this continues, the forecast says 2 more weeks. That takes us to August.
Mm.
If August is ordinary, just ordinary, you're on a big surge. If August is hot, break a few records. If August is hot and September is dry, leave the country. So I am concerned about it, and it's easy. I think in my role, it would be easy for people to say scaremongering. We are surge businesses, and we need to be prepared for all
Yeah.
possible scenarios. So I'm going early and I'm calling a surge because I want people to take me seriously and go and look at their supply chains and look at their preparedness and be ready, because it could be bad.
Yeah. I remember we've spoke about this before. I think when we went to Isle of Claims, I think it was a couple of years back, and we had the same conversation of, oh, Mike, do you think there's going to be a surge? And you were saying, oh, we'll see how it plans out. And it's like that surge planning now. If we're getting this double whammy, and obviously we've said about the importance of surge planning, what can people be doing to prepare for this double whammy?
Well, I think we talk a lot, don't we, about if you think that lots of people in the industry will present new software, or they'll present AI claims management. I don't want to talk about software. I don't want to talk about AI. The operating model's broken. So I think what we've got to do is we've got to talk about how we improve the operating model. And for me, what that means is identifying the cases that can be triaged into fast track, not at FNOL, not a first notification, but from FNOL through adjuster to the supply chain to the repair contractors, so that everyone is engaged with the fast track cases as the first phase of surge. The tricky, difficult cases involving statutory, involving TPOs, highway trees, complex land use, complex properties, they're going to go on the long tail. They're going to go on a long journey. But as an industry, it's not really about who's got the shiniest new piece of software. People want to sell shiny. And what I'm saying is, as an industry, from FNOL, from insurers, through adjusters, to the supply chain, and to the repair contractors, let's try and get the easy wins so we all believe in easy win cleansing. All of us. Not selling that to procurement, but delivering it as a reality end to end.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've always said about that journey, haven't we? Of like on the podcast, that we've got to make it the best customer journey, haven't we?
We've got to make it the best customer journey, and as I say, I think too often where people are busily focused on some new engineering technology, some geopolymer. There's a million and one things that Helifix and all the rest, but the interesting thing is that they form really a delivery solution for the complex claims. I'm talking about that 50% of claims that we could sweep up, have mitigation completed, have the drains repaired, have a simple tree removed with no policyholder, TPO, conservation, highway constraints. We can sweep these cases up and leave ourselves with the complex on a long tail over 12 months. But I don't think the industry's organised enough for that yet. So what will probably happen is, if it pans out as a hot August, lots of people driving round, cars in clown suits on fire. It will be panic stations.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I know that Tom at SML and we passionately believe in finding and mitigating those low-hanging fruit, the easy wins on a simple pathway. And that's the way we should think about it.
Definitely. So I think we said it at the start. You've gone early. The title for this little chat will be "You've gone early with the surge."
Yeah.
So that'll be the title for this. He's gone
Yeah.
early.
Yeah. Well,
surge.
at least I didn't say England will win the World Cup. So,
Okay.
so yeah, I have gone early. You can say it. I'm calling surge. I'm doing it on the 16th of July, and I expect to be right. I think I'll be right.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us for this little snippet, Mike.
Yeah, it's a down and dirty session with Lawson. So no, it's a pleasure. So thanks again to you, Tom, for organising this.
No worries.